Hello everyone and welcome back to Grace's Space. Today we have a very special episode because I am not going to be playing around with toys today, and I'm also not just going to be speaking. So there's this one YouTuber who I love to watch, Stacy Plays. She is amazing. I love her. And quite a bit of a long time ago, she announced that she was releasing a book. And so I of course got super excited because I love books, as y'all can probably tell from literally everything that I do on this channel and on my Instagram. I was waiting and waiting, and I go onto her channel and she says, as y'all have probably seen, I'm going to be making a second book. And I just kind of die a little bit on the inside because I still haven't read the first book. And so I went to the book fair with about $20 set on buying one book in particular. I didn't buy that book. Guess how? Because I found Stacy's. And let me just say, I was proud that I'm happy that I did. I recommend reading her book before watching this video because there's gonna be a lot of spoilers. So I'm gonna let y'all pause the video and go and read the book because it's quite short, but it's a good read as well. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now that I know that everybody who's still watching has either read the book or read a brief summary of the book, hopefully read the entire thing, there is going to be a link in the description for Amazon to be able to buy the book because, trust me, we're getting into something right here. Okay, so now that I know that everybody who is still watching right now has read the book or asked someone about what happens inside the book. Okay, before I mentioned that it was very good to read, that's because it is. I'm actually a pretty slow reader, which is surprising for someone like me. And I finished this in 3 days, which I was very proud of myself personally, because I was reading it nonstop. Hooks. That's all I'm gonna say. She learned something in English class. So, where should I start? Okay, the beginning's a good place. So, I, of course, was a huge fan of her Dogcraft series, and this is what this is based on, but I can never remember the names of all the dogs. And it especially became confusing in this book whenever I was trying to... Now, inside the book, it's not memorizing the names that's a problem, it's memorizing what they look like. So, whenever I looked at the cover, I was like, oh, yeah, the dog with the glasses, that's gonna be Everest, because Everest's the smart one, right? No, I'm wrong, that's Addison. Addison's the smart one. Everest is here. And I can always tell who Wink is because Wink is basically always winking. I had to use certain context clues to know which wolf was which at the majority of the times. So, on the first ever page of the book, she says that a wolf is hanging onto her jacket right here, and it's the only way that she's not falling over a waterfall trying to save a rabbit. And she said, how do I keep on getting myself into these predicaments? And I'm like, wait, is that a wild wolf trying to kill you or something? And then I later learned that that was Everest. Mainly the way that Stacy writes is what I love. The majority of the time that I was actually reading the book, I forgot that animals couldn't, do these type things in the wild. I thought that this was an actual place for the majority of the time. Whenever I was taken out of the world, whenever I stopped reading, my brain kind of went, I would love to live the wolf family. I would love to have just Arctic wolves and live in the middle of a taiga. 6 Arctic wolves that I can cuddle with every night. Yeah, that would probably not be the best idea, considering that I know nothing about survival. Also, Stacy inside the book, she is the same age as me. The book is written in 3rd person, which normally I don't like 3rd person, but she wrote it in such a way that I loved it. She added in one of her real life animals, Paige, spelled P-A-G-E. And I love the way that Paige is used. I love the fact that she isn't just a rescue animal, like she's actually used the rest of the way, and she's super confused because she's like, why is there suddenly a load of bats? I love everything in the taiga except for the bats. Why bats? And then she figured out that Paige was using her ears to listen in to the bats' signals, like their echolocation, which I'm not sure if that's, like, if that could happen or not, but if it can, I'd be down. Let's skip to near the end of the book. I'm gonna be honest. I went to look at the glossary and I figured out that the sentences inside of the glossary, well, inside the book it's called Stacy's Favorite Words from Her Book. But the glossary, it had sentences from the actual book where the word was. So like for the Rube Goldberg machine, they used like Rube Goldberg inside of an actual sentence inside of the book, and that's what they used as the example. So the bad part was I went to look at the glossary for one specific word because I thought that the word would be in there. I looked in between these two words for forever today, and I ended up reading one of them, and it said, "The fire roared curiously." I believe that was the word. And I was like, wait, hold up. At this moment, I only knew who Paige was. Like, I was at the lava part. And so we go on, and there was a forest fire, and I thought that she was gonna be the one who caused the forest fire, but you know what? It was nobody. We have no clue who did it, but we're pretty sure it's those corporate meanies that were trying to take over the land, which is fun. I almost cried in the middle of class because of the stupid tree, just one stupid tree that got knocked down that killed a metric butt ton of wolves, and they were technically wolves on the other side. But you know what? I still almost cried. I got a tear in my eye. I got a few tears, and I usually don't cry at books, especially whenever a character dies. Like, I don't like crying at those parts. But you don't mess with animals. You just don't mess with animals. That's like the #1 rule of writing. You don't kill the horse. Like, the horse is innocent. You don't kill those things. And especially because they had such a big. She was only able to save 2 wolf pups. Let's scream back in. Final thing that I'm going to say. Well, final thing before I go into my roundup. Noah, at the end. Noah the fisher. Noah the one who, like, stuck beside Link whenever the fire was actually happening. Oh my god, sweet little innocent Noah. Okay, the only thing that I want to know about that scene is what are the statistics of that happening? What are the statistics of not a tree, not you, not a whole pack, not a rock, just like your dog getting hit by lightning, just like there, like in an open field that... What are the statistics of that? That's what I want to know. So, now it is time for my roundup because I've been rambling for way too long. My roundup is fantastic writing. I love the way that she wrote. It was beautiful, it was amazing. I love the hidden jokes from Dogcraft. It still made sense if you didn't watch Dogcraft, but it was a lot better since I watched like the entire thing before it came out, and then I was like picking through each episode before I decided to read this. Lots of vocabulary words, which I loved, and I love the fact that she actually explained what the vocabulary words meant, because the majority of the times whenever I read books and I don't know what the word is, I either have to ask my mom, and if she doesn't know, then I have to ask the internet, which is a scary place to go whenever looking for an explanation for something. So I'm glad that she had the glossary in the back. I'm glad that she had the interview, And this is gonna sound weird, but I even read the acknowledgments, and that brought back a lot of nostalgia because she brought up some names I had not heard in a long while. And my brain was kind of like, hey, you remember Stampy? I'm like, I remember Stampy. But overall, it's a beautiful and amazing book. It's gonna become a series. It's so beautiful. Words cannot describe how much I like the book. Not because I like the author, but because I like just basically everything else about the book. Inside the front, there was a list of characters, so I can tell what the characters looked like. She had a map. She had like an interview with one of the people that she did whenever she went to the Taiga forest in real life for one of her field trips. Like, the book itself is amazing. Just, it's beautiful. It's a really beautiful book. Do recommend it to people, whether you like fantasy things, whether you don't like fantasy things. It's just an overall fantastic book. So that is all I have for y'all today. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button, and make sure to also hit that bell in order to get more awesome videos like this. Again, thank y'all for watching, and I hope to see y'all next time. Bye!